Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In-Depth.
Welcome back to HHS In-Depth. On today's show, we'll introduce you to Homestead's new principal, Mr. Swinford, as I sat down with him last week. Then Braxton Hull has the details on next week's highly anticipated Homestead Carroll Volleyball matchup set to take place on the Chargers football field. Grace Dickmeyer will have your weekend weather outlook, and we'll share some important Homestead updates you won't want to miss. All that and much more coming up on today's episode of HHS In-Depth. Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, August 22nd, and thank you for joining us today on HHS In-Depth. I'm Carly Swimiller.
And I'm Owen Kruger. And Carly, a new school year always brings new changes, especially for us and our new principal.
Yes, I'm really excited to see what he's going to begin implementing during the school year. And as part of our tradition here on the first episode of HHS In-Depth, we always sit down with the Homestead principal. This year, that interview takes on a special meaning because it's also the first year for our new principal, Mr. Swinford. I had the chance to sit down with him to learn more about what brought him to Homestead and what he's looking forward to in the 2025-26 school year.
There's a point in a lot of people where you just kind of feel like you need a change. Dr. St. John and Mr. Ankenbrook called me. We just kind of talked through. They said, hey, we have an opening. Gave us some positives and some things they were looking for in a principal, and they said, hey, you should apply. We think you'd be a good candidate. That part was a big draw, and also kind of the alignment with Dr. St. John and what he's wanting fit me and my personality, and went through the interview process, was offered the job, and rest is history.
What are your priorities to rebuilding trust and improving school culture here?
The first thing is just me being visible. I want to hear what's going on, and I want to figure out solutions, because I won't have all the answers, but there are enough people, like you said, it's a huge building. There's enough people in this building that we can find the answer somewhere in here. I want the staff and myself, we want to listen to you guys because you guys are living it. And we want to make improvements based on feedback that we get from kids.
Want to get to know Mr. Swinford beyond his goals for the school? We'll take a closer look at his background, accomplishments, and what drives him. Coming up next week on HHS In-Depth.
And now we go beyond Homestead.
Hurricane Erin, the first of the Atlantic hurricane season, looms around America's East Coast as over 75 rip current rescues were made Monday alone. Mainly affecting North Carolina's Outer Banks, the hurricane is creating dangerous wind speeds, storm conditions, and powerful waves across the region. Effects have already been seen with the flooding and power outages in the Bahamas and Puerto Rico, and many of the local counties that are impacted by the storm have issued local states of emergency. Although the hurricane is not projected to make any landfall, it will likely lead to the creation of another powerful storm in the near future. In other news, President Trump met with Ukrainian President Zelensky this past Monday concerning the war and the efforts from leaders across Europe to support Ukrainian security. The conference was seen as a good step forward toward helping end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine that has been ongoing since February of 2022. A meeting between the two countries' leaders, Putin and Zelensky, is beginning to look more promising every day.
Thank you, Owen, for some news outside the walls of Homestead. Stick around, more HHS In-Depth is coming your way.
Welcome back to HHS In-Depth.
Do you like to travel? Would you like to explore beautiful cities and experience new cultures? Homestead is hosting a trip to Japan or Ecuador in 2026. If you're interested, the call-out meeting is Wednesday, August 27th at 6:30 p.m. in the gray box. Please bring a parent or guardian. For more information, contact Mrs. Brown or Mrs. Bush at the email addresses shown below. Over the summer, Mrs. Bush and the Travel Club took an amazing trip to the Dominican Republic, and they've already started planning their next adventure.
If you haven't got an opportunity to travel and experience other cultures, other people, other languages, you just learn so much. There are scholarship opportunities. There's just so many different opportunities where students can get college credit for it. I mean, sit in a college course or experience the world. I'm experiencing the world.
Students interested in joining the Travel Club can go to the call-out meeting on August 27th in room B1033.
Sprinters, jumpers, and hurdlers not involved in a fall sport, Coach Whitfield will be hosting conditioning sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 4:30 p.m., starting August 26th through October 9th. Athletes should meet in front of the weight room by door 1. Please spread the word to anyone running track, both boys and girls. As you may have noticed, the football field looks a little different, with new lettering, a much larger Spartan logo, and a brand new track. Homestead is ready to show it off for the first time tomorrow.
There's a time frame for which, like, the longevity of turf lasts, and we had exceeded that, so that was a natural progression. The design, there were all kinds of people involved with that, so it was kind of a collaborative effort. So you try to piecemeal that and find what you think is best to make us be cutting edge, because we're competitive in that sense. We wanted our design to be better than everyone else's.
Be sure to check out the finished project at the JV football game tomorrow and the varsity game on September 12th.
Are you interested in DECA? Go to their call-up meeting next Friday, August 29th, right after school in the cafeteria. They'll cover what DECA is, the schedule for the year, and how students can get involved. With questions, email Mr. Dunn at the email address shown below. As construction continues, more areas of the school are changing. One of the latest updates is in the parking lots. A new lot has opened where the Freshman Academy used to be, now designated for buses. This frees up space near door 1, creating more student parking.
I would say the parking has gotten much better as compared to last year. Last year was a little chaotic trying to get in and out, but this year I'd say it's a lot more fluid, less time consuming. And I'd say this year there's enough parking for everyone. That way they don't have to go to Summit Parking or like any other lot. Yeah.
Attention any girl interested in playing basketball this year at Homestead. Coach Parker has scheduled an informational meeting on Tuesday, August 26th at 2:50 p.m. outside the athletic office. The meeting will last about 10 to 15 minutes. Returning students may have noticed smaller changes in the cafeteria during construction, but with the process nearly complete, the space now has significant upgrades designed to make it more convenient for both students and staff.
Hopefully we're able to serve more kids faster than we used to. Well, we have a lot more space out here at the grab and go than we did at the single one over there. I feel like I get to see more kids and we can kind of talk and visit as they come through better.
As the new school year begins, the Homestead Library is open with new study spaces and resources to help students make the most of their library experience.
The library opens at 7:10 in the morning as soon as kids come into the building, and then it closes at 3 o'clock. Well, as you can see, we have like a completely open concept library, which is it's unique and it's a really awesome spread out space. We do have 8 breakout rooms, which is what we use for our quiet study spaces now. So students who need to either work collaboratively on something for a class or just want a very quiet study spot can come up to me or to Mrs. Baker, and we'll unlock a room for them and let them study. If you want to come during study hall, you're welcome to do that if you have something to work on for a class. If you just want to check out a book, you can just go to your study hall teacher, ask for a pass. You can come over and check out, and then you can go right back to study hall.
For questions or concerns, email Mrs. Akery at the email address shown below.
Next Wednesday, an outdoor twist is coming to a traditionally indoor game as the Homestead Spartans volleyball team faces the defending state champion Carroll Chargers on the Carroll football field. It's the first event of its kind in the state, and to tell us more about this special night is Braxton Hall.
Behind me sits the Carroll Chargers Stadium, a place that has become a staple of football in the area, and of course houses the Spartans' biggest rivals, the Carroll Chargers. In 5 days' time, another historic moment will take place between the Spartans and Chargers on this field, but this time won't be on the gridiron, but instead on a specialty floor built for volleyball.
The Chargers got their inspiration for the event from Volleyball Day in Nebraska, which took place back in 2023 as the Nebraska Cornhuskers welcomed in 92,003 fans into their Memorial Stadium, a record for a women's sporting event that still stands today. Since then, states around the country have begun incorporating outdoor volleyball games at the high school level, including Iowa last year. And as Indiana joins the fray, Carroll Athletic Director Dan Ginder hopes the event can serve as a huge moment for the entire community.
Obviously, we want to make this the biggest night as we can. And we also feel like whether they're 8-year-old future volleyball players or, 14 to 18-year-old high school volleyball players, the celebration of the night and the celebration of the sport is worth getting those kids in here and just having some fun and seeing what high school athletics is all about.
Tickets will be available online for this one-of-a-kind event and can also be purchased at the gate on game day. And don't forget to tune in to Homestead Spartan Volleyball right here on the Homestead Media YouTube channel with coverage beginning on September 4th.
Thank you, Braxton. Stick around, more HHS In-Depth is coming your way.
Tonight, the Homestead Spartans open the 2025 football season as they travel south to take on the defending state runner-up Westfield Shamrocks under the Friday night lights. Listen live at 7:30 p.m. on the Point 91.1 FM and online at wcyt.org.
Next week on HHS In-Depth, catch part 2 of Carly Swinmiller's sit-down interview with new principal, Mr. Swinford. That's next week on HHS In-Depth.
Welcome back to HHS In-Depth.
Welcome back. And now, Owen, it's time to see what we can expect weather-wise this weekend. Joining us in studio now is weather reporter Grace Dickmeyer to tell us more. Grace.
Carly and Owen, these temps are not much different than what we have been seeing recently. Tonight, it's looking like the perfect weather for some high school football. With sunny skies and a high of 81 today, things should be great around kickoff. Be sure to show your Spartan pride at the away game by wearing a jersey, the theme for tonight. Looking ahead into the weekend, Saturday will be partly cloudy, ideal weather to go play some pickleball or savor the final moments of the YLNI Farmers Market before they move indoors. The high will reach 81 and the low will drop to a cool 58 overnight. And for Sunday, things look similar to the rest of the weekend, with sunny skies and a high of 76 and an even cooler overnight low of 53. Spartans, be sure to get outside this weekend and enjoy these sunshine-filled days before Indiana weather becomes even more unpredictable. Carly, Owen, back to you.
Thank you, Grace, and thank you all for watching our show today.
Make sure to follow our socials to keep up with the latest news from Homestead Media.
We look forward to seeing you again next week for another episode of HHS In-Depth.
Enjoy your weekend, Homestead.